Okay, so the final part of this week's podcast, we're going to be talking about ISAs and more specifically, what happens to your ISA if you die.
Yeah, that's it. So ISAs, since April 2018, the rules have changed that allow a spouse or a civil partner to inherit an ISA allowance. So it's called an additional permitted subscription, APS. It sounds like something that should be on your car, but it basically means that you can inherit an allowance. Now the value of that is determined. It can either be the date of as a death or when it's utilised. When it's closed. So if you think about it, the way it works is that you have 3 years. So the estate could be administered, but you've got 3 years of potential tax-free growth that's going to happen, and it's called a continuing ISA. So during that period, the ISA is still growing tax-free. Previously, it didn't, you see. So previously, it was capped at the point of death, and any additional growth during that period would be potentially taxable.
Right.
So now you have this continuing ISA allowance. So this continuing ISA, and then what happens is that the spouse or civil partner can inherit that allowance. Interestingly, they don't have to actually inherit the funds. So what can happen is you get to a point where the money in the ISA could be inherited by somebody else, but the actual allowance can be inherited, be inherited by the spouse, and they fund it themselves could be through money they've inherited.
Because I suppose what the government are thinking is, as a partnership, just because someone's died, they shouldn't necessarily lose those benefits of that tax wrapper.
Yeah, exactly.
They shouldn't die with them.
Exactly that. Yeah. So they wanted the idea that this allowance could be passed on under this APS, and the spouse or civil partner can benefit from it. So they have 3 years to claim it. If you don't claim it in time, then it can be an extension of 180 days. So the message of this part of the podcast is that you can inherit an ISA allowance if you are married or in a civil partnership.
Good stuff. Okay, so that's it for this week's podcast. Contact